Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast discussion for EBM2133 Corporate Governance. We are students from University Malaysia Sarawak and today we will discuss the topic entitled Corporate Governance Issue in Sime Darby Plantation Berhad. I am Amirah, your host for today, and together with my group members, we will discuss several important corporate governance challenges faced by Sime Darby Plantation, one of the largest palm oil companies in Malaysia. Before we begin, let me introduce our panel members.
Hi everyone, I'm Della.
Hi, I'm Sofian.
Hi, I'm Lisa.
Hello everyone, I'm Farah.
Hi, I'm Alex.
Thank you everyone. In this podcast, we will discuss the background of Sime Darby Plantation, major corporate governance issues faced by the company, the effectiveness of the company's actions, and its compliance with the Malaysian Code on Corporate Governance 2021 or MCCG 2021. So without further delay, let's begin our discussion. To start our discussion, Aina, can you briefly explain the background of Sime Darby Plantation?
Sure, Sime Darby Plantation Berhad, also known as SDP, is one of the world's largest palm oil producer and a major government-linked company in Malaysia. The company operates in several countries including Malaysia, Indonesia, Liberia, Papua New Guinea, and the Solomon Islands. The company manages around 1 million hectares of land and produces millions of tons of crab palm oil every year. Sime Darby Plantation is also known as one of the largest producers of certified sustainable palm oil or CFPO. Besides that, the company has more than 8,000 employees globally and exports its products to over 90 countries. Besides of its large business operations, Sime Darby Plantation plays an important role in Malaysia's shares economy and the global palm oil industry.
Thank you, Aina. That was a very clear introduction. Since the company is so large and influential, strong corporate governance is extremely important to ensure ethical business practice, sustainability, and stakeholder trust. Now, we will move to one of the most serious corporate governance issues faced by Sime Darby Plantation, which is the forced labor allegation. Sophia, can you explain this issue?
Yes, Mira. One of the biggest governance problems faced by Sime Darby Plantation was the allegation of forced labor involving migrant workers in the company's plantation. This issue became internationally known when the United States Customs or Border Protection or USCBP issue a withhold release order, also known as WRO, against the company in December 2020. The USCBP claimed there were signs of forced labor practice based on the 11 indicators of forced labor established by the International Labour Organization. Some of the allegations included poor working conditions, excessive overtime, debt bondage, passport rotation, and unfair recruitment practice involving foreign workers.
That sounds very serious. What impact did this issue have on the company?
This issue gave a major negative impact to the company. First, it damaged Sime Darby Plantation reputation internationally. The second one is reduced stakeholder and investor confidence. The company also faced pressure from international buyer and human rights organizations, since corporate governance focuses on accountability and ethical management. The issues show weakness in the company's employee management and monitoring system. There was clearly a gap between the company's wartime policies and what actually happened at the operational level.
That is a very important point. So, Melissa, how did the company respond to these allegations?
Sime Darby Plantation took several corrective actions to improve the situation. According to the company's annual report, the board of directors discussed labor issues in almost all board meetings during the financial year. The company also introduced a continuous improvement plan or CIP to strengthen labor governance. Some of the actions taken included improving worker complaint mechanism, conducting independent audits, refunding recruitment fees to migrant workers, strengthening human rights policies, and increasing monitoring of labor practices. These actions show that the company recognizes the seriousness of the issue and attempts to improve its governance practices.
In your opinion, do you think the company complied with MCCG 2021 after taking those actions?
Partially, yes. MCCG 2021 emphasized both accountability, sustainability, and risk management. After the issue became public, the company showed improvements in governance through better board involvement and corrective measures. However, the fact that the issue happened in the first place showed that the earlier governance framework and internal monitoring system were still weak. So overall, the company demonstrated commitment to improvement, but stronger enforcement and continuous monitoring are still needed.
Next, we will discuss environmental and deforestation issues. Farah, can you explain this governance problem?
Of course, every monument and deforestation issue are also major governance challenges faced by the Samdabi plantation because the company operates the largest scaleless palm oil plantations. Environmental government of land and criticizes the company activities linked to the forest destruction, with the land damage, biodiversity loss, and the threat to the wildlife habitat. Then these issues are especially sensitive because sustainability has become important global concerns. All along there, the company has sustainability policy and environmental commitment. There were still criticisms that the implementation was not fully effective in the actual operations.
Why is this considered a corporate governance issue?
These become a governance issues because the corporate governance is not only about the financials performance, it also involves the environmental responsibility, ethical investment management, and sustainability. So, weak environmental monitoring and poor enforcement of the sustainability policies show that weakness in oversight and risk management. When the environmental issue happens repeatedly, it can reduce the public trust, affecting investor confidence, and damage the company corporate image.
So, what actions were taken by the company to solve this environmental problem?
The company introduced the several alternatives such as the first one was a no deforestation and a no exploitation policies, and the second one was a better land management system, and the third one was a stronger monitoring of the supply chain, and number four was the increased productions of the certificate and sustainable palm oil, and the last one was a more environmental audit and a sustainability reporting. So the board of the sustainability committed that also monitoring the environmental performance is more regularly, and these actions show that the company is trying to improve their sustainability government and reduce environmental risk.
Do you think these actions are enough?
I think the action is good, but the company still needs a stronger enforcement and more consistent implementations at the operational level. But the good policy alone are not enough if they are not properly enforced.
Okay, now let's move to another important issue, which is supply chain governance. Alex, can you explain this issue?
Yes, Mila. Some plantations have a very long and complex supply chain involving supply line, counter trade, smallholder, land logistics providers, and third-party companies across different countries. Because of this complex situation, it becomes difficult for the companies to ensure that all supply follow the same environment and laboratory. This creates government risk because any misconduct by supply can still affect them thereby plantations, reputations, and business operations.
What are the main challenges in supply chain governance?
A major challenge is in huge companies almost report is the price. Although the companies had a suitability, sale police and supply code of conduct information across the IT supply chain remain difficult. Another important issue is traceability. Since point in production involves many intermediate, it can be difficult to track large materials from plantation to final product. With traceability still reduce traceability and accountability. This is especially important because international buyers and ESG influential now demand high levels of transparency in sustainable sourcing.
Okay, so how did the company improve its supply chain governance?
Companies in place switch government methods such as supply monitoring, reducing sustainability conference program, regard supply chain audit, ESG reporting for traceability, strong sustainability framework. Those institutes help improve accountability and reduce government risk to the supply chain.
Before we move to the conclusion, so Aina, can you briefly explain the methodology used in our report?
Sure, our report uses qualitative research methods based on secondary data. We collect information from Simdabi Plantation Annual Report, Sustainability Report, official company website, academical journals, new articles, online resources. The data was analyzed using content analysis to identify the causes, impact, and the solutions related to the company governance issues. We also evaluated how far the company complied with the Malaysia Code on Corporate Governance 2021.
After discussing all these issues, what can we learn about corporate governance from Sime Darby Plantation case?
I think one important lesson is that large companies must ensure that their governance policies are not only written on paper but also properly implemented.
I agree. Strong governance require continuous monitoring, transparency, accountability, and proper enforcement.
Every month and a social responsibility are also becoming a more important day. The company can no longer focus on only profit.
Yet it be early for global companies like Same Table Plantation, international stakeholders, exist, achieve global protect and sustainable operation.
This case also shows how governance fails can affect a company's reputation, investor confidence, and long-term stability.
As a conclusion, Sime Darby Plantation Berhad faced several major corporate governance challenges, including forced labor allegations, environmental and deforestation issue, and supply chain governance weakness. This issue affected the company's reputation, stakeholder trust, and sustainability image. However, the company also took several corrective actions such as strengthening board supervision, improving sustainability policies, enhancing labor right protection, and increasing transparency in operation. Although improvements have been made, continuous monitoring, stronger internal controls, and stricter policy enforcement are still necessary to ensure better governance performance in the future. From this podcast, we learned that good corporate governance is very important in ensuring ethical business practice, sustainability, accountability, and long-term business success. Okay, that is all from our group. Thank you for listening to our podcast discussion.